record tuple, column is called by
So
field
before I start
identifier attribute,
SQL
table is
Server,
called by object entity relation.
since it's a demo class today, let's understand few basic
Fourth,
concepts so that you get a
RDBMS
clear picture of
always
what is database,
supports
how you
to
organize data in database,
represent data in
plus
normalized
what types
way.
of programs they
Normalized.
provided to work on
Word.
database.
Represent.
All those things we'll discuss
Remember this difference.
under the concept of
Representation
basics
is
of
about designing.
database.
Representation
So
is about designing.
let's not directly start SQL Server. We require at least 1 or 2 sessions
is about
to enter
seeing,
into
viewing,
SQL Server.
viewing data, seeing data. Viewing the data, seeing the data. That is presentation. Representation is about designing the database. How do you design? Normalized way. And how do you normalize? Yeah. A table can be normalized in
this introduction,
different
let me
ways,
first highlight
often called
how
normal form.
organize
And we can call
data.
them what? One
How you
NF
organize data. This
first
word
normal
organize is all about
NF.
how you make data available.
Second normal form.
How you make data
2
available. So usually you find
third
that we have
normal
2
form.
techniques by which you can organize
3
data.
NF.
This is one
Voice
technique
called normal form.
is what you call file system. That file which you call where you manage data is called flat file.
BCNF.
Yeah, this is one
Fourth
technique.
normal form.
File system. You can call like this old way,
NF.
to manage data.
The normal form.
Easy way to manage data.
5 NF. Yes.
But question is how you create this file.
Every normal form
before I
is
get into this is only
connected by
to give you
some
an
set
idea
of rules.
what is that we are going to discuss in
is
this total
connected by
architecture.
rules.
You can
2NF
better
is
call
connected
agenda
by
for
rules.
today's class.
3NF is connected
First
by
part we'll
rules.
discuss how you
BCNF is
organize
connected by some
data
rules. Fourth
in 2
normal
ways.
form is connected by some rules.
2
Fifth normal
ways.
form is also connected by some rules.
After that, we'll discuss disadvantages of file system. Then slowly I'll introduce the concept of database. Then we proceed with rest of the things. Okay. Okay. Now you can say file system. How do you create a file? Yes, file you can create it. Do you understand? You have any still questions to ask me on this? Go ahead, please. Navnath. One way. And Fagbandro. Built-in application. You have any questions to ask me? Second, through programming language. Is it clear?
Yes, I have some doubt about this voice code
Two approach.
normal form, but
Yeah, let me call.
we will take
First
it later.
one.
Yes?
Yeah. That is all completely coming classes part.
Okay.
Only introductory to what is what about RDBMS. I said a lot of things are there, even in these 4 points also that we are going to discuss through practical programming languages. 2 things. Okay? Chalo, right. Yeah. When I use these built-in applications, here I make a list actually. What is it? I can use Notepad. I can use MS Word. I can use MS Excel. What about you? Etc. Fagbandro. These all applications are going to work for built-in applications. And when it comes to programming languages, here also I make a list. C, C++, Java, Python, C#.NET, VB.NET, etc. These are through programming languages. So even programming languages will support to create a file, and through that file you're going to manage your data. Now, something important to understand in this total scenario is what disadvantages that you would find in file system. Disadvantages. So let me list few of them.
Okay, somewhere
so that
in
you
this
also
only I'll
get an idea
instead of
why
creating
we
a
are not
separate file
discussing this
in the
with
same
any practical orientation.
file. I'll just write
Okay.
somewhere here. I'll write.
Disadvantages
Here I'll complete.
of file system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here
Actually,
I'm going to
many
talk
disadvantages
about
we have. We'll not waste time on discussing all of them. Few I'll give idea so that you can make clear picture on how those points are
components of
will be used in your
RDBMS.
database.
Yes.
Now, one drawback you find is no security. Major drawback. File system doesn't have what?
Components
Security.
of
No security.
RDBMS.
Now, obviously,
Now,
if
in
you
this
just go through
component,
this small example, assume that I open Notepad. In that Notepad, I'll just put content here.
components
I'll
में
just put what?
I'll
Content.
mention
Like what? Serial number, name,
first point.
something like some other personal information like contact number, email ID, and all that stuff.
Data accuracy.
And if that
in
laptop
RDBMS
or if that desktop in which I recorded those details, if it is shared,
provided
by someone else, so that person can
with
easily open your file and can
two concepts.
copy the data, can mishandle the data, can modify data, can delete data, whatever you want, you can do on the data.
Second, data integrity. These are the two concepts in RDBMS, which will
So one point
always
is
provide what?
forget about
Data
Notepad, so we
accuracy.
can't think about any alternate. Even no WordPad also we don't have any alternate. But in MS Word, in MS Excel, I hope you know this very well, that you can protect your document, you can protect your Excel file with password. Do you have any idea on that?
How do you provide?
We can protect
Two concepts
MS Word
here, data
document. You can
consistency,
protect MS
data
Excel, spreadsheet with the password. Yeah. Now one point is there. When you protect your document or Excel
data
file with
consistency,
password, what
I'll
is
be
actually
explaining you with two
Easy.
topics.
Protection is for data.
Data consistency.
You protected
Two topics.
data. A person with whom your laptop is, your desktop is shared, if that fellow tries to open your document, definitely the document will ask him to authenticate with password.
Second, I'll explain you
Since that fellow is unauthorized,
views.
so he cannot make an entry into my file. So
Views,
in that
views
case,
data integrity, I'll cover in integrity constraints topic.
What is the
integrity constraints
then we have
topic? I'll be discussing about what
the document cannot be opened. So the data is not visible. But one thing is that document content is not visible, but still that person cannot.
Okay, now next part.
That person can delete that file. Even though it is protected with password, still that file can be deleted. So obviously it makes no point. It makes no particular concept you find. You protected the document with password, the file can still be deleted. Then it makes no point of protecting password. No? You lost your file, you lost your data. So even in that case also there is no security.
Which always
one of the major disadvantages of file system.
Relation.
No security.
Yeah.
And another important point that
is
the
second point I wrote.
That will make us to go to database.
Operators.
What is it? File. The second drawback. The second disadvantage of file system
language that we use in computers,
you find
100% inconsistent. What operator support is available?
Data
Operators
inconsistency.
support is available. Set of
What do you mean by this?
We are going to apply
where you are going to apply
on one or more relations. We are going to apply on one or more relations, one or more tables, so that you can understand what actually it means about data inconsistency. New relation. Connecting
Open
with
Notepad.
this particular point, we are going
say
to
for example
2 to 3
I have one
topics
file
in our subject.
I have one file. So let's
to
call
three
file
topics
1
are
dot txt.
there. One among
I have
them
another file.
is set
File
joins.
2
One
dot
other
txt.
is one
Here
another
I have
topic is column
product
joins.
code, product name, stock,
We will discuss
Here,
this.
product
Practically, we
code,
will see.
product
Till then,
name,
remember.
sales, date of sale,
Lot of operators are there to
amount.
study in SQL
Okay.
Server. Lot
101. A. 1890 is the stock. 102. B. 1500 is the stock. 103. C.
What type of operators?
4278 is
These
the
all are
stock.
available.
10.
You call them as
D.
relational operators.
3312
You
is the
call
stock.
them as logical operators.
These are all
You
available
can
in
call
what?
them
File
as
1.txt.
arithmetic
Have to have
operators.
4
You can
products.
call them
4
as
products.
special operators.
Now, point
You are
is,
provided with set operators.
in
You
file
are
2
provided
means
with
another file,
negation
another file.
operator.
I have one product that I
Lot
sold.
of operators are there.
103,
You are going to
whose
apply
product
them on
name
tables.
is C, and I make a
And
sale
whenever you
of
apply them on
1000,
tables, it is going to produce some
date,
new tables with the
some
output.
date, some amount.
You understand?
But interesting thing is what?
That is the reason why you have been
Sales,
called.
sales, 1000 you
Set
sold.
of
1000.
operators are applied on one
Now
or more
you say
relations,
me,
which always
when I make a
produces
sales
a
of
new
1000
relation.
and that information is recorded in file 2, do you feel that the file 1 containing stock information will automatically gets updated? Do you feel that? 1000 I made a sale. Do you feel this 4278
And coming
will
to
be
the
updated
most
to
important point,
3278?
what you study
Will
is
that happen?
remember
In file system, any file you think, any
No.
file, any
collection
100%
of
answer is no. No. Whether you talk
objects
about MS Word, you talk about Notepad,
store
you talk about the Excel, you talk about
data
any file, you don't have this option at
in
all. As you make a
collection
sales
of
of 1000,
objects
you have
to
to manually go and update your file1.txt, updating your 1000, subtracting your 1000 from that value what I have there.
present.
So now I come with the conclusion. Now I come with the conclusion. What is the conclusion?
Present
Changes
in
made
rows
in
and
one
columns.
files does
It
not
means what?
reflect
One
in
table also
other
data will be in rows
files.
and columns. Is what
One
we
table.
call
One table also you
data
have
data in rows and columns.
consistency.
And
Multiple
data
tables also will
inconsistency.
have rows and columns. What do you call that as? Data
I am not saying
inconsistency.
one
What
table
is the
will
description
present
of it?
data in rows and
Changes
columns.
made
Another
in
table
one
will
file
present data
when
in some different format. No.
automatically does
Whether
not
it is one
reflect
table
in
or
other
you have
files,
100 tables.
that process is
All
called what?
tables will
Data
provide data
inconsistency.
presentation in which format?
Hope you
Always in rows
understood
and
the
columns.
example and the definition what I
Collection
said
of
just now.
objects.
You have anything still to ask me? Go
Present
ahead.
data
If not, I'll
in which
continue with the
format?
next part.
Rows and
Both of you.
columns. Objects you call, tables you call.
Yes.
Your wish.
Yes.
You already
clear?
I
You're
mentioned
comfortable?
this
Yes.
that object is another name for
Now let me talk on
table.
third disadvantage. The third drawback that you would find is about file system is cannot avoid redundancy. Yes. Same piece of data again and again, you can store in file system. Same piece of data. Same data you store 10 times, it will accept. Same data you store for 20 times, it will accept. File system will never say you that already so and so data is with me. Please don't store the next information. Never it says you. Same piece of data you store 10 times it will record. Yes. Same data. This is the complete introduction of RDBMS. Simple to understand. There is another drawback you have. I said that accuracy of data like this in RDBMS, fourth drawback also. We provide with consistency. Difficulty. I haven't explained anything about it. In accessing operators required named
data.
them,
But I didn't show you how to apply them.
Difficulty in accessing what required data. Better I call it instead of saying all this. Filtering
that always
data.
you present data in database. In rows and
Filtering
columns.
data
One
is what?
table also you present rows and columns.
What is filtering
Two
data?
tables
Valid
also
or
you present
invalid?
rows and
Yeah,
columns.
filtering
100
data,
tables also you
remember,
provide rows and
filtering
columns
data.
only.
In some file systems, filtering data is valid, but one condition, two condition, three condition, fine, okay, manageable. But more conditions you start creating on filtering data,
Hello, sir.
then things
Yes,
go
please, go
complex, things go confusion.
Can
So
you
we don't feel
please
better,
brief the
in
data
working with file
consistency
system.
and data integrity?
Database gives you an easy approach to,
Data
filter the
consistency.
data.
I'll just give you a brief
These are
overview.
some of the disadvantages
Data
that
consistency
you find available
is,
in what
how
system.
you describe,
So finally,
how
to
you understand
overcome
is,
all these issues,
if you
we were
make changes
introduced
in one table,
by
if you make changes in one table,
we are
automatically
introduced by
the other table
second
should
way of
also be
organizing data.
reflected of the
And
change.
here comes the introduction of
You understand? Two
database.
tables are there
Yes.
called table 1, table
Yes.
2. You made a change in table 1, automatically
And
table 2
when it
should
comes to
also
definition,
be reflected
about
of that
database,
change. That
instead
is
of
called
coming up
data
with all
consistency.
various definitions, I just make this database quite very
Okay, so
simple.
for the
Remember the
data
picture of database?
consistency, that two
Definition is
tables
simple.
must be in the
Database
relationship.
always represents
Yes,
with
correct.
this cylindrical
Correct.
shape object. This is how database looks like.
That is one point.
Yeah,
Point.
let me
Second,
draw it so that you can
data
understand.
consistency can be even achieved even if you don't have two tables. Single table also, if you have, yes, you can still have data consistency. But for that, you require to have a support of another topic that is called views. VIEW.
Okay.
Views.
Okay, views is a virtual table, so I know about that.
Exactly. Virtual
This
table
is
you
the
call na?
representation of what?
So in the single table, how
Database.
we can
Keep this picture.
do the
Definition
data
is with you now.
consistency for the single
Possible.
table?
How do you
You
define?
can even
Yeah,
single
this is how
table
you
also,
define.
there is a 100% support of data
Database is
consistency. Single table also.
defined
But for that, you
as
should have knowledge on something called
logical
reflexive relationship.
container. This word is important, please.
Flexible relationship.
Database is defined as what?
Reflective
Logical
relationship.
container.
You have
It's like
idea on
container.
that. If you have
But word I use
practical
is
knowledge
logical
on that,
container.
100%.
So always you
justify
find, even in
that even
SQL
on a
Server as
single
well,
table also,
database
you
is
can have data
logically
consistency.
represented, even physically
100%.
represented.
I'll show you. We'll learn this
Physical
topic.
representation is about hard disk data to getting stored in hard
Your
disk.
answer should be always
Logical
like this.
representation
How
is
many
that
relationships
something is
your
stored
database
which is
supports,
visible,
your
but
answer
actually
should be
that is not
three.
happening in it.
One to
Yeah,
one,
the
Yeah.
coming
to
classes
many,
will
and
explain you what
reflexive.
exactly the story on this part is.
One to one
Is defined as what?
one-to-one
Logical container.
relationship
What contains?
and reflexive
Which
relationship.
contains related
Okay, I have heard about the
objects.
one-to-one, one-to-many,
And when I use the word
reflexive
object, also we will
and
discuss. No problem. We will study.
Even that is there in our
What
course also. We are going to see that with many examples as well.
synonyms, sequences,
okay. And what about the data
indices,
integrity?
Data integrity is
stored
applying
procedures,
conditions on columns, applying conditions
stored
on data entry.
functions, stored triggers,
Okay, so for that we need to
etc.
first right?
Yes. These all are
So
called
for the
what?
column
That is what
Data
integrity.
study in our
you
sequence
achieve
with the data constraints.
tables are of 5 types.
Okay.
Views are of
Data
2 types.
integrity
Synonyms,
we achieve
index
with
sequences,
data
indices are of
constraints.
type, constraints are of type,
Okay.
procedures are of type. List is their list. And another interesting thing is database usually will be of 2
And
types.
for that, so
Databases.
we need to handle the null values
Usually,
also.
databases will be of how many?
Everything.
Two types. Two types. What are
That's
they?
it.
Yes.
This
One
is your
is
complete
called
introduction of
OLTP. Second is called
RDBMS.
OLAP.
That's it.
OLTP.
Next class mein I'll directly
OLAP.
come up with introduction
OLAP
to
is all about data
SQL
warehouse,
server.
DWH.
From there, we are into our subject.
OLAP. OLTP
So in
is
this
online
course, are
transaction
we
processing.
covering the
OLAP
store
is
procedure?
online
Yeah.
analytical
Yes.
processing. Two
Compulsory.
types. So something OLAP is related
You
to
collect
data
percentage.
warehouse.
Na.
Now in this database,
Yes, I have.
in this database,
It will be there 100%.
you need to do operations.
T-SQL mein you check. Stored procedures will be
You
there.
need to do operations. What operations? Obviously, it's all about insertion of data, modification of data, deletion of data, modifications to data. So to do all those, we are introduced by DBMS, database management systems. That is what we are introduced with. And how do you describe this? Yeah, easy to say, no? Definition. You can say collection of software programs used to store, manage, and retrieve data is what the definition says about DBMS. Collection of software programs used for what? For three reasons. Three reasons. You can store data, you can manage data, you can retrieve data. And one most important point, that retrieval will play a major role in database. And it is based on three factors. Data retrieval. It is based on three factors. Yeah. What are those three factors? Yeah, one is called A, T, R. Three factors. A, T, R. Three factors. How do you describe? Yeah, we talk about relevancy, timeliness, accuracy. Yes, you just attach these words to those alphabets. Relevancy, timeliness, accuracy. Collection of software programs used to store, manage, and retrieve data based on how many factors? Three factors. How do you describe them? Yeah, you can say like this. You can say like relevancy, related data, timeliness, within the time, accuracy, free from errors. Yeah. Related data, within the time, free from errors. Now, this DBMS is now classified into four types. We have four types. Yes, this is one category. One. This is second category. This is third category. And this is fourth category. Yes. Total four are there. How do you describe them? Yeah, you can say now one as HDBMS, NDBMS, RDBMS, ORDBMS. NDBMS, RDBMS, ORDBMS. Yes. Now how you describe? Yes. H is hierarchical. N is network. R is relational. OR is object relational. Yes, four are there. Hierarchical DBMS, network DBMS, relational DBMS, and object relational DBMS. Four are there. In that four, these two are outdated. You don't find them now available. These two, HDBMS and NDBMS. Yeah, both of them are not available. These two are going with ongoing with developments. Yeah, two. First two is what you refer as what? Outdated. Outdated. And here it is a combination of two things. Outdated. HDMS and DMS both are outdated. Why? Why it is outdated? Because I said it's a combination of two things. I'm saying two things. Why? Because you manage database using programming languages here. You're going to manage data using what? Programming languages. That is the reason it's outdated. Which programming languages? Two are mostly used here. Two languages mostly used for programming. And that too, you should be thorough with data structures in that. One is called C, one is called Pascal. These are the two programming languages that are used in these two. And that too related with what? Data structures. There's a reason people felt quite lengthy, heavy, confusion, risk in maintaining data. Then they have come up with what? RDBMS and RDBMS. Here what you do is you manage database not with programming language. Rather, we are introduced by one special language to manage database. In RDBMS and on ORDBMS, there comes introduction of SQL, structured query language. SQL is introduced. And hardly, few things are logical in it, few things are syntax based. SQL deals with two things. So separate, coming classes, maybe we'll learn separate topic or separate session. We'll have to understand about what SQL. Now, if you to make this in a simple way or to identify the importance of SQL, let me give you another example. So that you can understand how SQL is going to play major role. Okay, first on one end, let me write all database softwares, RDBMS softwares. Yeah, make a list here. One, our subject, SQL Server, Oracle, DB2, MySQL, Sybase, Teradata. Yes. All these are what? Database softwares. SQL Server is Microsoft product, Oracle is Oracle Corporation's product, DB2 is IBM's product, MySQL is product of Sun Microsystem, Sybase is a product of Sybase International, Teradata is a product of Teradata company. Yeah, all are going to manage database. Everyone is going to manage database. Copy this, paste, dump here. Yes, this is database. Now it's quite simple to understand. If this database is created in SQL Server, so SQL Server database. If it is created in Oracle, so Oracle database. If it is created in DB2, so it is DB2 database. If it is MySQL database. And now if it is created in Sybase, so Sybase database. If this is created in Teradata database. But all are going to communicate with what? All are going to communicate with what? Database. Now you can just take simple example like this. This database which I placed here, assume this is like a mobile handset. Database is like mobile handset, I'm saying. These all database examples I placed now, database softwares examples. These all are like service providers. All are like what? Service providers. Service providers. All are like service providers. Like you can assume this is like Airtel, Aircel, Geo, Vodafone, like that. You got all these service providers, I'm saying. This is like mobile handset. Now you say me, if this was assumed to be like Airtel, for example, if I want to use Airtel services in my mobile, what my mobile should contain then? If I want to use Airtel services in my mobile, what my mobile should contain? What it should contain? Simple, SIM card. SIM card of what? Airtel. Does it mean that my mobile can have only SIM card of Airtel? Does it mean so? Does it mean so? Do you understand that way? If I'm going with
No,
if I'm going with Airtel SIM card in my mobile, does it mean that my mobile can have only a SIM card of Airtel? Not at all.
no,
No, because the slot which is created in mobile where SIM card is placed, it is designed in such a way that it can have a SIM card of any service provider. SIM card of any service provider. Any service provider. Yeah. Now, 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 if this may be a situation, like this may be a situation I'm saying. Like what situation? Example is like Anurag is using, for example, in his mobile a SIM card of Airtel, and I am using a SIM card of some other network, and someone is using again a SIM card of some other network. Why we are changing? So why all of us are not going with the same this one? Only one reason it could be a point. Only one reason, and that point is the locality, the place where you stay. So might be services of that particular network which you are using might be good. As simple as that. There's no logic in it. There is no much logic. I mean, like something like difficult to understand in it. Because if you just focus in all these service providers, tariff will be same only. Tariff will be same. Tariff will be same. Everyone will provide you same tariff. Minor changes may be there in the tariff. If Vodafone says 100 rupees like 300 SMS, Airtel is saying 90 rupees, same facility, but little reduction is in the cost. In that way, you find a difference. Exactly same way. SIM replacement for all these database softwares to work on database is SQL. As SIM is for communication between service provider and your mobile, exactly same way. Remember, you are going to replace SIM with what? SQL, structured query language. That is what, at least with this picture, you can understand now. That SIM is common for all service providers, exactly same way. SQL is common for all database softwares. And if you ask me, as far as my experience is concerned, this is what I feel. What if you know SQL thoroughly in SQL server, it means you are done with the SQL language in all database softwares.
You don't need to again separately learn SQL in Oracle, separately learn SQL in DB2. No, you're good in SQL of one database software. According to me, you're done with SQL in all these database softwares. You understand? And make this point quite very clear. SQL introduction will be a separate topic in our course content. Separate topic, separate. Coming classes, but definitely you people will experience the total introduction of SQL. Yes, this is the demo class. This was the introduction part, that which I covered, whatever is. Yes. So last session in the demonstration class, we have come up with a comparative discussion on file system and database, and uh, we have tried to come up even to discuss that how important is database to organize data, right? All these things in my last session we discussed all these points: OLTP, OLAP, what database definition, logical container, which contains related objects, and that objects include all these types: tables, views, synonyms, sequences. DBMS में types are there. HDBMS and DBMS are outdated. The developments are going on only in RDBMS and ORDBMS, right? Today, Today, we are going to learn our first point or first concept, that which are related with the introduction to RDBMS. From there, your subject begins. Introduction to RDBMS, Relational Database Management Systems. Yes. Now, instead of making the total points or and getting confused, what I did is I just make this introduction made available hardly with 4 points. 4 points. You be clear on that. It's more than enough. And even in these 4 points also, lot of other points are there that we don't discuss at this stage. What it is, you'll get to know probably once I get into this, what do you call, total, implementation. Okay, chalo right. Now let's go. First point I'll write. First point. What it is? RDBMS equal to R plus DBMS. R plus DBMS. Especially this R is there, R. It stands for referential. Technical word it is. R stands for referential. What is referential? It is one of the integrity constraint. Referential is one of the integrity constraint. So coming classes may we are going to learn about constraints. So in that I'll explain you what is called domain integrity constraint, what is called entity integrity constraint, and then we will learn what is called referential integrity constraint. Till then, just remember the word you remember. Yes, R stands for referential. What is referential? Integrity constraint. And remember, referential is for creating relationships. And what relationships? 3. 1-to-1 relationship. Second,
one-to-many relationship, and third one is many-to-many relationship. In that, remember, we have this for direct implementation. This also we have for direct implementation, and this we have for indirect implementation. Yes, three are there. One-to-one, one-to-many, many-to-many. One-to-one is direct, one-to-many is direct, many-to-many is indirect implementation. Indirect. And actually, a broad analyzation is no database software supports many-to-many. Easy to get to know about this point is something you can call no support. Even if you need, indirect support is there. No support. No database software supports many-to-many relationship. One-to-one, one-to-many, very perfect support, very perfect implementation we have. This is one point. Second point. RDBMS has been introduced in the year 1970 by Dr. E.F. Codd. Dr. E.F. Codd. He has introduced RDBMS in 1970. में they introduced. Who introduced? Dr. E.F. Codd. The RDBMS has been introduced in the year 1970 by whom? Dr. E.F. Codd. And he has outlined 12 rules called Codd's rules. And then he mentioned one limit. What is it? Any database software satisfies 8 or 8 rules, I mean to say, okay? 8 or 8.5. 8.5. 8.5 rules. Any database software satisfies 8 or 8.5 rules, then it can be considered as pure RDBMS. Now let's compare. Our subject, that is SQL Server, satisfies out of 12, 10 Codd's rules. How many? 10 Codd's rules. Because it satisfies 10 Codd's rules, that is more than 8, so it is pure RDBMS. There is one more called Oracle, which is a product of Oracle Corporation. Even it satisfies more than 8 rules. Almost Oracle satisfies 11.5 Codd's rules. SQL Server satisfies 10 Codd's rules. Oracle will satisfy 11.5 Codd's rules. But both are more than 8, so both are pure RDBMS. DB2, Sybase, Teradata, MySQL, they all are pure RDBMS softwares. Pure RDBMS software. Now remember few things what I said you in my today's beginning of session. I said even in this introduction to RDBMS, lot of things are there that we don't discuss today. We just leave them in my coming classes as special topics to be discussed through practicals. Like I just said referential integrity constraint for relationships, but I haven't demonstrated how to create relationships between tables. Then here I said about Codd's rules, but I didn't discuss even a single Codd rule. Not at this stage, at least, because to understand Codd's rules, you should have a complete knowledge of database, RDBMS. Then it will be easy for you to compare and learn
those 12 chords rules. Third rule, RDBMS always presents data in two-dimensional format. That is in rows and columns. Refers to table. Yes. Two things are there, remember always. In this sentence or in this third point, I use a word presents. Okay, presentation. How do you present your data in RDBMS? I said the table format, two-dimensional format. Next point, I'll use the word again. I'll use the word represents. Two different words, two different meanings, two different approaches. Here I'm talking about presentation of data in table format. And remember, here rows, columns, etc. And remember, what is it? Row, row. You call record. In some softwares, they call tuple, column. In some softwares, they call fields. In some software, they call identifier. In some software, they call attribute. Table. In some software, they call object. In some software, they call entity. In some software, they call relation. Row is called by record tuple, column is called by field identifier attribute, table is called by object entity relation. Fourth rule, RDBMS always supports to represent data in normalized way. Normalized. Word. Represent. Remember this difference. Representation is about designing. Representation is about designing. Presentation is about seeing, viewing data, seeing data, viewing the data, seeing the data. That is presentation. Representation is about designing the database. How do you design? Normalized way. And how do you normalize? Yeah. A table can be normalized in different ways, often called normal forms. And we can call them what? 1NF. First normal form. 1NF. Second normal form. 2NF. Third normal form. 3NF. Boy's code normal form. BCNF. Fourth normal form. 4NF. Fifth normal form. 5NF. Yes. Every normal form is connected by some set of rules again. Yes, 1NF is connected by rules, 2NF is connected by rules, 3NF is connected by rules, BCNF is connected by some rules, fourth normal form is connected by some rules, fifth normal form is also connected by some rules. Do you understand? Do you have any still questions to ask me on this? Go ahead, please. Navnath and Fagbandro. Yeah, you have any questions to ask me? Go ahead.
No, sir, not as of
You're
now.
clear?
Yes, I have some doubt about this boys code normal prompt,
BCL.
but we will take it later. Yes.
Yeah. That is all completely coming classes part.
Okay.
Hmm. Only introductory to what is what about RDBMS. I said a lot of things are there, even in these
Hmm.
4 points also that we are going to discuss through practical. Okay? Chalo, right. Yeah. What about you, Fact Benro? You have any questions to ask me? Am I audible to you? Intro RDBMS 12 PM. Okay. Right. Okay, somewhere in this only I'll complete. Instead of creating a separate file in the same file, I'll just write somewhere here. I'll write here. Yeah, here I'll complete. Yeah. Here I'm going to talk about components of RDBMS. Yeah, let me write here only. Components of RDBMS. Yes. Here only I'll write components of RDBMS. Now, in these components, yeah, components may I'll mention first point. Uh, Data accuracy in RDBMS is provided with two concepts. A, data consistency. Second, data integrity. These are the two concepts in RDBMS which will always provide what? Data accuracy. Accuracy. Hmm. How do you provide? Two concepts we have: data consistency, data integrity. Data consistency, I'll be explaining you with two topics. Data consistency. Two topics, two topics. One is under foreign key constraint. One topic. Second, I'll explain you this under views. Views topic. Data integrity, I'll cover in integrity constraints topic. Integrity constraints topic mein I'll be discussing about what? Okay, now next part I'll say. Second part. Set of operators are applied on one or more relations, which always produces a new relation. Yeah. Yes, this is second point I wrote. Second point. What is it? Operators. Every database, every language that we use in computers, 100% you could find what operator support is available. Operators support is available. Set of operators. We are going to apply. Where you are going to apply? On one or more relations. We are going to apply on one or more relations, one or more tables. What will happen? Which always produces a new relation. Connecting with this particular point, we are going to learn 2 to 3 topics in our subject, SQL Server. Two to three topics are there. Yeah. One among them is set joins. One another topic is column joins. We'll discuss this. Practically, we will see. Till then, you remember what it is. Yeah. Lot of operators are there to study in SQL Server. Lot of operators are there. What type of operators? These all are available. You call them as relational operators. You call them as logical operators. You can call them as arithmetic operators. You can call them as special operators. You are provided with set operators. You are provided with negation operator. Lot of operators are there. You are going to apply them on tables. And whenever you apply them on tables, it is going to produce some new tables with the output. You understand? That is the reason why you have been called. Set of operators are applied on one or more relations, which always produces a new relation. You understand? And coming to the most
Yes.
important point, what you study is, remember, collection of objects to store data in collection of objects to present data in rows and columns. It means what? One table also data will be in rows and columns. One table also you have data in rows and columns, and multiple tables also will have rows and columns. I am not saying like one table will present data in rows and columns, another table will present data in some different format. No, whether it is one table or you have 100 tables, all tables will provide data presentation in which format? Always in rows and columns. Collection of objects to present data in which format? Rows and columns. Objects you call, tables you call, your wish. Already I mentioned there that object is another name for table. Yes, this is the complete introduction of RDBMS. Simple to understand. I said that accuracy of data in RDBMS we provide with consistency, integrity. I haven't explained anything about it. Operators, I only named them, but I didn't show you how to apply them. I said that collection of objects, that too